Alright guys, we are back. It is time for the tiebreaker going in to the final week of not grand final play for the Challenger Cup for the summer split. This is the big one. One of these teams will make it all the way, well, not all the way through. They'll make it to the relegation slash qualifier match for the SPL going into the fall split, which could potentially lead to the fall regional lands, which could eventually lead to the Smite World Championship. So this is the beginning of a very big path, a very important path as well for one of these two teams. It's a best of one matchup. The winner of this will go home second place. Winner of this will go home, or finish outside second place. The loser will go home, unfortunately eliminated from contention going forward. Papis versus the Team Bizarre. Who? Yeah, picks and bans underway. I want to ask who are you favoring this matchup, but I want to see the picks and bans first because these teams could pull out something crazy.
I mean, they could pull out something crazy. Important facts to note. Papis, thus far, they've lost both of their games today that they have played. And Team Bizarre have a 1-1 from today. 1-1 record between these two teams. That's why we're having the playoff match, obviously. But Watchy just switched roles for that last game. I think consistency needs to be key for the Papis. So does he go back to Hunter here? What do you do if you're the Papis?
It's a little bit of an interesting change for Ojaboom because while he is the soul laner, he has been playing a lot of Hunter, so it's a fairly easy transition. Going from the Hunter over to a tanky warrior, that's not something we typically see happening at any point in time. Yes, we saw an Isis AD carry yesterday. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that because that was just silly and my brain is still like already. It's like, no, don't go there because change is bad and all that stuff. However, we saw some picks coming in right now for the Papis. They're going for that bastet again. It didn't necessarily work out too well for them last game. They're going to get Athena this time around, however. That's pretty strong mobile support, potentially a jungler, potentially a soul laner. They have kind of that little float potential coming out right now from those two picks, but more likely than not, bastet will be the jungler once again for Dalo.
Interesting seeing going with that, but I do like it with the Athena pickup as well. It's heavy pressure, right? And Athena can get across there and turn that pressure around if they so decide to heavily commit to something. They can tower dive, they've got a little bit more online to do so. Death Panther has been playing an incredible Agni today, been really on point with that, but they've left up. Look at this on both sides. Sylvanus and Athena left up, focusing on the Ymir and the Bologna bands. They did not want to let Bologna get through from the Papis. I think that's kind of crucial. Oh, God. Ullr's locked in.
It's one of these moments you wish you had the camera because I'm just sitting here with like just big grin on my face. Like, yep, it happened. It got through. Wasn't banned on the first time around. They're making sure to lock it in before the counter banning phase because more likely than not, if they didn't grab it right then and there, it would have been removed from play. He'll play it in the solo lane very happily. He'll play it over in the dual lane and Hunter role more likely than not. That's going to be the Ullr being popped out once again, I'd imagine. I mean, they could do something really strange, but you lock it in, and you have Ojaboom on your team. You don't give him Ullr. You're just... What is wrong with you?
Which means we see Watchy, I'd say. I'd say we see Watchy right-hand side.
Yep.
They
could run double Hunter. They could still do that. It's not off the table.
But it's not as strong on this patch, right? It's not brutal. It's not overly brutal. So, I don't know.
We talked about the Zhong possibly being mind games last time. Myrmidons didn't take the bait, but they're going to go ahead and lock that one in, not just the hover. That's going to be the Demon Queller popping on out. I thought it was a Demon Hunter. Apparently it's Queller. I can see it on screen.
No, it's Demon Queller. Yeah. You were right. 100% right.
I was actually looking at it. I was about to say Demon Hunter, but then I glanced over. I was like, double check, pick ban rate. Not a whole lot of picks. A decent bit of that is still down to Lassus from earlier on in Season 1, so kind of extended the stats still at this point. Who has time to actually pull stuff out and narrow it down to one season? Started two, and then matches disappeared. I didn't have fun. It's stuff. It happened. It is what it is. It's Season... anyone who ever wondered what the stats actually are, it's the rolling stats from season spring and summer Challenger Cup at this point. So, if you ever wondered what exactly the stats on screen are from, there you go.
Okay, so... Yeah, alright. We're gonna see Loki versus Vamana in the solo lane. This is actually a good matchup for Vamana, right? Because Vamana's just like, okay, I get a free wave clear. Vamana's late game, he gets free clear, and he gets that potential to scale in the late game. Loki is the oddball here, right? Loki can jump in, can clear out somebody, and he's got a really, really good potential with a bastet as well once he gets online. So this is going to be interesting. Later game, I do have to give it to the Papis. Early game, if they can get ahead though, if Steefy Beefy, can get his Vamana online, we saw what it could do to the Papis last time around.
This game is basically going to come down to, can they keep Loki at bay and stop him from getting to that point in time? It's also a bit of a mixed focus. Loki is a late-game assassin, Bastet's more of an early, mid-game assassin. Zhong is going to be... it's a lot of AoE damage. The problem is going to be, look at the the shutdown that they have. Look at the zone material. Look at the healing they have coming out of the Team Bizarre lineup. It's going to be a rough ass for them to actually win these team fights because everyone's kind of scattered about, I'm a mid-game god, I'm an early-game god, I'm a late-game god. There's no real direct focus of, we're going to look to focus, get an early game rolling, and take an early win. We're not going to try and hold on for late game and get things rolling and take a late game win. It's kind of a mixed focus. A lot of this game is going to ride in the back of Ullr's Ullr to actually get things rolling favorably in their direction out of that dual lane with that Hunter. I'm assuming Loki solo lane. They could do Loki Hunter, whatever. I don't think it would actually be a favorable matchup against Sylvanus Anhur. The wave clear against what is looking to be an Athena Loki lane will just be disgusting. And they'll be pushed back to tower for the first pretty much 8-9 minutes straight, so I don't expect to see that happen.
And he needs mana buff.
Yeah, definitely. So
that's kind of the deciding factor of where he's going to be on the map. Is Loki just needs mana buff to get through early game.
Well, we'll find out exactly. More likely now it's going to be Warchi over in the solo lane once again with Loki. We'll see if that's going to be the case here in just a minute once we hop into the game. For now, we're going to cut to a quick little break, get ourselves all synced up and ready to go. And we'll be back with the final match of the day, the tiebreaker between Team Bizarre and the Papis, in just a few minutes. Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's time for the tiebreaker. Team Bizarre facing off against the Papis. The fact that the names are actually correct on screen for once confused me.
Well, it's probably actually this game. We should start out by going through the Team Bizarre and Papis lineups in order. So, Shodan, round us out. Take us off with the chaos order side. The
order side, blue side, left side respected to I.
Order
Defending
side.
the Titan of Order. Team Bizarre. Steefy Beefy in the solo lane as Vamana, Dark Yoda K in the jungle as Thor, Death Panther in the mid lane as Agni, XK playing as support Sylvanus, Valley Jojo 124, and the Hunter role as Anhur. You mean those guys?
Yeah, those guys,
Yeah.
and their opponents, the Papis in the Chaos side of the map. It's going to be Warchi on the solo lane, Loki. It's going to be Dalo in the jungle on the Bastet. Archangel is going to be playing Zhong in the mid lane. David Arne is going to be on the Athena at the support, and Ocho Boom is going to be rounding us out with the Hunter Ullr.
Yeah, we're talking about this a little bit. This kind of the role swaps, basically the last day of the summer split potentially for these guys. Going back, Cooper, the boss that he is, went back and looked up some spring stats for us and who exactly was playing where. And Warchi, back in the beginning of spring split, was in fact the solo laner for the Papis. So kind of back at home for a little while back. Same thing, Ojboom was the hunter for a good long while. So both these guys kind of going back to their old roles. There's some lane swapping going on in between. Some went jungle, some went mid lane. But I believe that was on the back of working in substitutes to the team. So, going forward, these guys, last game we saw them and didn't necessarily go too well. Maybe a little bit still just getting used to the return to their old roles, but at the same time, maybe just kind of the matchup. Going to this one, they need to win this game. It's a best of one tiebreaker. The winners will have the higher overall, or higher head-to-head record and lock themselves in second seat for Group B.
Yeah, based on what we've just learned from previous Challenger Cups as well, Loki may not be out of the question for Warchi to play and play well. Ojo Boom, we all know, we know how good Ojo Boom's Ullr is. We know how good that is, right?
Yeah.
We just know, straight up. He's a damn good Ullr, right? Warchi, though, he's getting a lot of presence in this lane from the Bastet.
Yep, left lane, a bit of a poking back forth going on as well. We'll see exactly which turns out. We're going to take a look at the solo lane right now. As it looks like Dalo faked the rotation back off and immediately looping back on around. Thor, however, Dark Yoda K, gonna be the first one to leave the solo lane. Daylove realizing, okay, he's gone, I shall leave as well. Time to go say hello to the mid laners and soak up some experience from those guys. Solo lane, that matchup's going to come down to Warchi holding on and not losing the lane before about the level 7-8 point in time when he can finally start to clear those waves in one single decoy.
Yeah, and until then, he's going to try and get off as many in-hands as he can onto Steefy Beefy, because that's his only form of harass, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, he's got nothing. got nothing. He really lacks any sort of harass, and you can see it. Look at the poke from Steefy Beefy. Watch, he just like if Steefy Beefy wants to fight him back, watch, he's got nothing.
Look at the health bars. Every one of those ticks, every one of those little blocks of color is 100 health. Right now, Warchi's sitting on just over 300. Steefy Beefy sitting over double that right now. That's with half his health bar being empty. Warchi taking a decent little bit of poke right here. He has maybe one more little wave, and look at the minions right now. Steefy, Umbrella Ring, fortunately for Warchi, going to miss. Warchi going to have to go back to base and heal up and fill that mana bar. Does he have enough for that Heartseeker right now? Yes, he does. That is fortunate for him.
Yeah, it means he's going to start the stacking up nice and early, which is always fantastic when you're on Loki. Oh, you want to get to that late game earlier. But remember, this item won't even be built next patch. I was actually I was wondering whether he might have just opted for a teleport even at this early stage, just to help him get in and out of that lane a lot quicker. But then again, it'd be on a 240-second cooldown, and that'd be a problem.
He also didn't have the gold. The Heartseeker getting that online as soon as possible going to be more important. The problem's going to be, look at what just picked up by Steefy Beefy on the other side. Runeforged Hammers completed. That's more protections, that is more health, that is more physical power coming out, double dipping as well with his passive as Vamana. Basically the same type of effect. He gets more physical power based on the amount of physical protection that he has. So he's going to double dip off that item. Kind of the same situation with Kukulkan with the Book of Thoth. Kukulkan's passive, he gets more magical power based on his mana pool, Book of Thoth. Same exact thing. So, with that said, Harpy's in the mid lane, apparently. He came and went, and I have no idea what happened with him.
Team Bizarre got both of them.
There you go. Someone was paying attention.
I was, yep. Anyway, Steefy Beefy and Warchi just gonna, just totally ignore each other, which is all well and good. But Archangel's hit level 5, and he's starting to get a few demons online as well. His first ultimate's gonna have a huge impact. Left-hand lane, Ojo Boom's gonna get an ultimate to come through on top of him, just to keep him safe. Yeah, it's just don't initiate onto him.
Yeah, they looked for the grab, didn't quite connect, in case it had. David Arnaz was already channeling it just in case he needed to show up to that fight. Rotation coming out, there's the Anvil Dawn dropped on down, but Archangel's here. Dark Yoda is going to be picking up first blood. The Recall Demon's coming out, Edixade behind enemy lines right now, not in a happy place.
No, and now it's going to be Death Panther trying to re-engage. This is one. Dalo is really, really low. His second rain fire didn't quite land on towards him. David Arnaz can get the heck out of here. The double tap of the Hammer Berserker Barrage. Yep, Dalo's gone.
Going for Archangel. Jojo going to look for the Impale into the wall. Doesn't have the mana for it. He's going to try and get the kill nevertheless. But the stun from Archangel does come out to buy him the time he needed to escape. Jojo, that's one of those situations where it's like, I got this. Disperse. Turn to the side. Impale. Impale. Why isn't this work? Mana bar is empty. Could have been another kill, but nevertheless, Team Bizarre turned that one back around despite giving up that first blood. Did they give up the first blood? No, they didn't.
First blood.
First blood
was picked up. Yeah.
It was picked up, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we got kills on the board. We know the first blood was picked up. And I'm going to say it went to Dark ODK.
It did. Someone got it.
Yeah. Yeah, Dark ODK killed Ojo Bim for first blood.
Someone definitely got it. Apparently them.
This is what happens when you make sure and cast on not the largest amount of sleep.
Oh my god, my sleep schedule is horrible at the best of times. Nevertheless, I'm not going to go through it. It's a long story that nobody wants to hear because it's not interesting. Suffice to say that videos were not cooperating last night. That's all I'm going to leave it at. It was a long night.
Ouch.
It was an early morning. I got to bed at roughly 3:30 in the morning. Had to get back up at 5 just to finish one thing up. And then I went back to bed for another 2 hours. Got like 3.5 hours of sleep. I'm actually more awake than yesterday. So, I mean, that worked out.
That's surprising.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to die tonight. I'm going to hibernate till like Wednesday.
You know what my favorite thing is?
What's that?
You're so much of a better pilot than you are a caster in video games when you're tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea what you actually mean. I'm supposed to agree with you. I can't cast with one of us half asleep to begin with, but yeah, fight breaking out.
Here comes the Defender of Olympus. They're going to focus on towards securing Death Panther, and the Papis are going to secure that one up with the Recall Demons Archangel to get a kill, so that's big, but Thor's going to slam down and has other words to say about this one.
Needs one more. The wall, the hammer is good. Dalo will survive to sneak on out of that fight. Right-hand side, Warchi has more or less stabilized that lane for now. There's nothing there.
Left-hand side, Ojo Boom and oh my god, look at the impale from Jojo. He did burn the Desert Fury. Yeah. That did so much work for him. Wow. And he kills off Ojo Boom. They get the one-on-one, and it goes Jojo's way.
Meanwhile, I was actually watching Warchi decoy himself under the tower with a decoy that we couldn't actually see. Just playing with the in-hand animations. With that said, missed the kill in the process of it. It happens. The best of us at the worst of times, and all the time, and stuff like that. Warchi, though, has gotten to that point where he can wave clear quite effectively. He's going to, a couple of those big brute minions still going to be able to sneak by one decoy. He has that mana buff in hand, so he can drop down multiples while the waves are coming forward and stuff like that. So he's in a good spot for the time being. Still has to be careful. Stevie Beefy could still potentially look to all in him. He has the Assassinate off cooldown in just a second as well to look to escape. Burned immediately.
There it goes,
came
yeah.
off.
He needed to, though. If Stevie Beefy, if he didn't have that one, Stevie Beefy just kills him straight out there. That's a really, really good scenario for Stevie Beefy. Remember what we were saying about this lane? So much of a farm lane for Stevie Beefy, but now it's turning into a nice farm lane for Warchi, which is the key thing. But Stevie Beefy is just going to be a big teamfight threat. Warchi's not a teamfight threat. He's a go, split, push, kill tower threat. It's a different kind of threat.
I want to see Poppies look for this Gold Fury fight here in the next couple seconds. If they can find a pick, that would just be all the more to set them up for this one up here in a second. But it comes down to teleport online for Warchi in just a second. Stevie Beefy doesn't have it. If he can delay the back to base, Stevie can still recall and pick one up and join the fight, but it's going to be a good 6-7 seconds head start for Warchi to cause all sorts of havoc on the left-hand side of the map. But they have to be careful the way they play this. It's like, obviously, they are looking for this Gold Fury. It comes down to, can Warchi stop Stevie from going back to base and picking up that teleport?
Doing okay at the moment. Like, Stevie's forced to stay around in lane, and now he can out-damage him as well, which is really, really nice. But there's no mana bar online for Loki, so Loki's got to be really, really careful with how many abilities he's using. Clear the path. Stevie's going to get the heck out of here. That's what he's trying to do right now.
He's actually looking for the dive right now. There you go. That's, Warchi.
Thor's in the air.
Assassinate.
Slow down on towards Warchi. And Berserker Barrage is going to secure a 1-for-1.
He had mana. He did not have mana. That was a little bit of a hindrance on actually getting out of that one. Unfortunate, but he got that kill. He's kind of trading back 1-for-1. He got the assist as well for Stevie Beefy, so it is what it is. But look at what was picked up. Ninja Tabi completed. Executioner being built towards by Stevie Beefy. Teleport not online at all for Stevie for now. That teleport potential for the team fight set up with the Gold Fury is still very much there. The problem's going to be Stevie will just say, you know what, I'm going to take the tier 1 tower and look to make that soul lane just a little bit more dangerous for you, Warchi.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what they can be able to do. But Warchi's teleported left-hand side, looking for Jojo. He got the Impale off. Desert Fury's down. What damage can they find? Warchi's taking this tower. That's a problem. He's going to go down. No, he's not, because David Arnay stole the tanking, but Etaxi gets the double. And now it's going to be traded back. Ojo, boom.
That is a fortunate pickup coming out for Team Bizarre. They got Arnaz down. Team Poppies were able to take down Edixke as well. So, with that, it's going to mean no Gold Fury potential here for the next couple seconds. Stevie's looking for some damage mid lane. Archangel on his way over, but Death Panther as well as Thor nearby to try to stop this. Recall Demons coming on out.
Yeah, Death Panther's in a little bit of trouble at this point in time, but Stevie Beefy, he just wants to fight Archangel. Recall Demons is now timed out. He's looking for the in-hands. Dark ODK comes forward. Look at the Berserker Barrage and the clear the path for Stevie Beefy. He's going to secure that one. Team Bizarre goes slightly ahead.
Yep, they have a small lead. Invades coming out right now. You don't have a way over the wall, Stevie. You may want to... Yeah, they're not going to let you back in the middle of their damage buff pit after you stole it away. That's right, you leave their damage buff pit. That's just like one big middle finger. It's like, I stole it away. I'm going to sit here and recall with you in full vision of me. Because I know you can't kill me. You may stop me and delay my back. I'll just go ahead and just walk around the corner, clear the path, and get out to safety.
Yeah, well, Warchi's been left alone over here in the solo lane in this meantime because obviously Stevie went left-hand side. He hasn't picked up a teleport, and again, he's opted to go for the sprint. So Stevie Beefy's going to have a little bit more damage, which is all well and good, but he's got no way to get across the map, and that tower is just starting to take its first lick of damage. So Warchi's sitting in a nice spot at this point. He can bait Stevie Beefy out towards him, or he can clear waves and take towers. It's really up to what he wants to do.
He needs to build his stacks back up so far. He has that Heartseeker, he's died twice already. Not having that extra bit of physical power is going to make a pretty huge difference. He still has potential. We just saw the potential one decoy is a dead wave of minions. So he can kind of just do, he's being Loki right now. There's no other way to put it. Just, I'll run around, distract you, keep you busy. Oh, something might be coming my way. I'll vanish and run back out safely. He's not worried about it. He's Loki. And he's Loki. He's being Loki. There's a takeaway from that one. Left side of the map, I saw people near the Gold Fury. I got excited. It was just counter-warding.
Yeah, well, they were poking around. That's, you know, doing their responsibility. That's what you got to do on that left-hand side of the map. You got to take hold of your ward coverage. Got to control it. There's so many more people over there that, you know, needs to be a force to be reckoned with. Mid camps currently not online.
Be looking for a dive right here, looking to apply some pressure to Warchi. Assassinate comes on out. Tower shots, not gonna have to secure that kill. That's gonna be a little back and forth trade. Warchi gonna go ahead and recall. Mid lane, we might see something go on here. Death Panther and Archangel gonna toe, but not gonna commit to anything.
Side, Ojaboom might be ganked at this point in time. Thor is over here. The ultimate can be thrown up if he really wants it, but I think he's saving it. He's not quite sure, and he's just making sure that he gets some confirmation on towards this one, but Dark UDK is going to come in the lane, steal some XP, and get the heck out of here. With a double tap on Ojaboom that half-healthed him. That's problematic.
It's rough. He's not going to be scaling up quite as much going forward. Yeah, the Odin's Rest online. He's looking for a Shifter Shield for that extra little bit of physical power. When he's about 50% health, it will be the highest physical power item in the game, with the exception of Transcendence with the stacks built up, and isn't mad as well. But yeah, it's one of the more powerful physical power items in the game. He's going to have that luxury when it drops below 50%, of course. It's going to then shift to defensive, extra protections, 20 extra physical protection, 20 extra magic protection. It's kind of nice to give you a little bit of extra kind of effective health once you drop below to keep you alive and maybe help you escape from an engagement that's not going your way. I don't want to say issue necessarily. His hammer and the spin to win are both maxed out right now. A lot of his damage just comes from putting those initial ranks in the ability. So he's still going to be getting more powerful, but not quite as quickly as he was previously.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to sort of see coming through. I mean, I'm totally lost. Memories just going, poof. What were we even talking about 2 seconds ago?
Thor, shift the shields.
Oh yeah,
stuff. Yeah. Things and stuff. And
it's a shield.
It always makes me happy when my co-caster for once messes up. Because usually it's me like falling flat on my face constantly. So I see it's like, yes, it wasn't me this time. And then it's like, what were we talking about? I'll save you, buddy. Throw you that lifeline. Throw you that little lifesaver, life vest, life ring, whatever you shall choose to call it. So for now, it's Europe. If you're just joining us, it's Group B for the round robin group stages out of the European Challenge Cup. We're in week 7, and we're in the tiebreakers. Team Bizarre finished out the group stages tied 3-3 on the board with a head-to-head matchup 1-1. So we're in a best-of-1 tiebreaker scenario right now. Winner of this game locks themselves in to the grand finals for week 8, where they can possibly find themselves facing off against some of the teams from the SPL, facing relegations. And, well, it's a big one. We've talked about it a couple times. This could potentially lead to the Smite World Championship later on for Season 2, but a fight is about to break out.
Watchy, right-hand lane is looking to go on towards Steefy Beefy. Steefy Beefy's got the Colossal Fury. He's trying to stay alive. He's forced the cat call out, but that will guarantee a kill. Dark UDK on the left-hand side is going to get the kill on towards Archangels. Thor slams down. You know, he just does that stuff that he normally does, and he's going to zone potential out on towards this fight, this Gold Fury as well. David Arne's got other ideas.
Yep, that's going to be a Gold Fury getting secured over here. However, wasn't able to get through in range. One of the problems with Athena, Preemptive Strike is a great gap closer, but you stop in your tracks if you run into somebody. So you basically just stand in the middle of that path and it's like, well, you could try and squeeze it through, but all I do is just step a tiny bit to either side and you're not going to be getting through me. So David Arnes might have been thinking about it, but wasn't actually able to get in range to look for this deal properly. That's going to be first Gold Fury of the game, going away at Team Bizarre, 15 minutes in. They have themselves about a 3,000 gold lead right now. Experience, taking a look at that as well on the graph, about the same. A little under 4,000 gold. They have a decent lead building for themselves, and they keep doing what they're doing right now. Could lock themselves in that spot.
Well, see if they can do that at this point in time. Buff's starting to be taken up again, as just as they respawn the right-hand side tower. Warchi managed to get that, even though he did... no, he didn't die off. It was Steefy Beefy that died that last time around, but of course with Steefy Beefy going down, Warchi's just like, yo, tower. Let's start putting pressure on and around this map. He's going double stacking, Transcendence and Heartseeker. This is really risky, because, you know, then he hasn't got other items. It's delaying everything else. Hydra's Lament, so crucial to Loki's kill potential. So he's going to be sitting over here and just killing creeps for such a long time.
Steefy Beefy realizing what's going on. Will pop that sprint, looking to run away. There's the Colossal Fury coming out. They have no anti-heal to shut this down. Steefy will more likely than not live. You can see the disengage coming out for that one. They burned ultimate for ultimate. Defender of Olympus, however, kind of the bigger overall team fight presence. That opens an opportunity for Team Bizarre to capitalize on something elsewhere on the map, where when they know David Arnaz will not be able to respond to that one. So they went for the kill.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't call that a good trade on that one, just because the Defender of Olympus is such a more powerful ultimate.
Stevie's getting so tanky at this point in time as well. It would have been hard to really kill him off. As soon as he popped Colossal Fury, they should have just caught it.
And the teleport is online for Stevie as well. So he's going to be able to join up a fight where, you know, he can reinforce somewhere else, worse, he can reinforce someplace else. If it's not a fight where David Arnaz is already present for, he's going to have to walk his way across the map to finally join up with it. To be fair, there's no big objectives really up on the map. It would take a full-on DSI pretty much to see a fire giant occur right now, so there's really not much loss as long as they can avoid fighting for about another minute.
Let's take a look across the map and golden experience-wise at the moment where it's all sitting. 4K lead coming through for the guys on the side of Team Bizarre on the XP graphs, and 3K online on the gold, so they're just a little bit in front. Just enough, though, at this point in time. Spear of the Mage is already being finished off by Death Panther's Agni, but it's just now that the Warlock Sash has come online for Arcade.
Assassinate out to safety, even get out of that stun in time. Not gonna happen! The crowd control chain was good! Dark Yodi K, almost 007. Close enough. If you mirror him, stick him on the right side of the scoreboard, he's 700 right now, which I don't know if that's relevant. But 007, licensed to kill, and making good use of it, leading his team in a big way right now.
And, well, that's a problem. Hey, look at what he's dead at the moment.
Back and forth. Death Panther going to be forced to beat out of this one. David Arnaz looking to secure the kill. Taunt is good. Shield wall. And, oh, the second in-hand. Not going to connect. Looking for it. Nevertheless, one more in-hand. Get the hit. Get the hit.
No, he's not going to get it.
Panther will survive.
Look at
Dark Yoda K still up, killing people elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, and that's Arxie's going to rotate around here looking for Athena. He's out. Never mind. David Arnaz out on the left-hand side, though. Jojo can put pressure down on towards Ojo Boom's Ullr. I mean, it's Ojo Ullr. This is the god that Ojo Boom is known for, and he's not able to win this matchup against the Anhur.
A little bit of that comes down to the fact that he's in that dual lane. He's a little bit further behind than he would be in the solo lane, getting all that farm. Getting that free farm from more or less level 2, to be fair, because the jungler usually shares a little bit. It's a little bit slower to get going. The items are a little bit further behind. It's all down to timing push. It's a term for real-time strategy games more likely than, or more typically. But it comes down to how soon can I get farm to get this item online? When I get that item online, how big of a power spike is that going to give me? How much more powerful I am that I now have this item online? Well, I'm a little bit more powerful, so maybe I can't make use of it. When you get a key item online, however, look at a warrior in a soul lane. Mystical Mail comes online. If your opponent's not building the same, you have control of that lane for a good while until they respond with a couple more items, because you're not only that much more tanky, but you're also applying damage with that aura, and it's magical damage as well. So they start to say Runeforged Hammer, they're not going to be able to mitigate that quite so well. So it's timing pushes. In the duo roll in roll, it's longer to get to those timing points. He's going to be a little slower to get going. Right side.
Steefy Beefy is just the focus of things once again, and look at the damage to come out from Warchi, but David Arnaz is going to steal and secure away that kill. Gold Fury will be spawning here momentarily on this left-hand side of the map, but it's not enough of a window. David Arnaz will be able to get back over here, and Ojo Boom is thinking about basing as well. I think he's thinking about getting on towards, he wouldn't have the in-hand gold. No way he'd have the in-hand gold to pick up a Executioner. He's just looking for the balance blade.
He is. It would definitely be a nice little bit of help, but the Poppies with Steefy Beefy down, not looking like they're going to test this. Blink is available. Blink Wrath of Terror into a Wrath of the Gods. Could find a steal. He's going to look for a Wrath of the Gods. Comes in. Team Bizarre at escape, finding the steal into the Gold Fury as the fight commences. Now, can he now escape with his life? Cat calls with the body block. Say no, but your life for the Gold Fury. Worth it in my book.
Yeah, I'm going to take it in my book as well. I mean, so long as you don't give up 3 kills, it's generally worth, because the XP gold is pretty much similar. So, you know, it's a really, really good job there by Team Bizarre and their support. It's Arxie. Such a good blink. Yep. Immediate Wrath of Terror, so we can't be CC'd.
The way that went,
that's perfect.
That was just him going in alone. Look at the rest of the team that was alive for that fight. Death Panther with the bombs, Dark Yodi K, Anvil of Dawn for a second stun into the spin to win, plus a Jojo Desert Fury. That could have been disgusting had they all committed to that, instead of just, I'm going to try for the steal, guys. If it works, great. If not, whatever. That could have been so much worse than it was.
Yeah, it was actually really, really good that the Poppies didn't lose that one out any harder. I mean, they're now down almost 5k at this point in time. Well, they are down 5k, and they're down 5.5k experience at this point as well.
Baby, he's out in right lane. 1v3. Steefy sneaks in a kill, and they're looking to turn this one back around. Dark Yoda K arriving to the scene. Double kill for Steefy. David Arnaz will have that preemptive strike in 5 seconds, but will he live that long? That's going to be the question. Steefy looking for the body block, not quite able to find it, but triple kill comes on out for Steefy Beefy.
Don't gank him.
No, it's not worth it.
Don't gank him. just threw everything you had at that, and now they're just like, yo, Fire Giant?
They're trying to shut down a
Question
late game
mark?
hyper carry. In the process of doing that, they ended up giving him 3 more kills, getting him to that kind of later game state that much more quickly, and now they're looking for the Fire Giant. And
They've got the right targets tanking this one
it.
as well, and it's getting incredibly low. Archangel comes through, but he's a little bit too late, and Taxi gets spotted out, but he will secure the hog.
That left-hand lane, I mean, the one last surviving hope, the way this game is looking right now, is for that Loki to hit that critical threshold and get to a point he can burst down JoJo or Death Panther and just remove them from the fight. Dark DK as well may not be at that point anymore. He has that Magi's Blessing, which will avoid that stun off the Assassinate. He also has that Shift of Shield. Once his health drops below 50%, is going to take less damage. He's not really going to be a target able to be brought down at this point of the game anymore. I mean, look at that health bar. He's pretty tanky for a Thor. Yeah, Thor is kind of like that, right on that line between Assassin and Warrior anyway, but he's not going to be a target for Loki. And if Death Panther and JoJo are positioned properly, they could potentially be safe. I mean, they have the roots, they have the heals, they have the wall for the stuns and stuff like that. It's a real possibility that War Machine may not be able to actually assassinate someone and just delete them from the map.
Yeah, and even though you mentioned the Shift to Shield coming online, and that'll swing rapidly the damage that Dark DK can put out, massive. If he's sitting in the middle of 5 people when he slams down, that Berserker Barrage is going to hit so goddamn hard. It's going to be really hard for them to survive on the side of the Puppies and then turn around and fight afterwards. They can't do it. It's next to impossible. It's nigh on impossible to turn around after a Thor does that much damage and fight successfully.
And Morchi is kind of in control farm-wise of that soul lane, but the problem is the kills and other team participation that is coming out for Steefy Beefy. It's a pretty big, almost 2,000 gold lead for him at 1.2k, almost not quite 2,000, but whatever, it is what it is. Math is not my strong suit, as we all know at this point. Blink, Wrath Terror, finds in the back, Dark DK goes up in the air as well. The fight is on, Teleport coming in.
Yeah, and it's going to come in on towards the tower. What can they do out of this one? Ojo Boom is incredibly low on the backside, but Recall Demons is doing some nice work. Elo is so low. Warchi's forced to back off for this one as well. Everyone's here now. Steefy Beefy's going to come back in, but Dark DK.
Archangel picked up by him. 9 kills in a row, plus a couple of extra assists as well. He's going to keep going forward. They are running away from him. They can't even think, you know what, let's just turn around and burst him down quickly, because he is just that tank and can look to teleport straight back out. The wall finds Dalo. Damage onto Arnez as well. Panther picks up that kill, and now it's the Phoenix set in their sights. They had that Fire Giant buff across 5. Stevie Colossal Fury is out. Will survive the engagement.
Oh! They killed off the Phoenix at the exact right time to keep Steefy Beefy alive, but he is alive, and they get that left-hand Phoenix, and that is like next Fire Giant secured with the minions pushing so hard down that left-hand lane. They can secure this mid lane tower as well. They've just got so much map control at this point. Team Bizarre are playing out of their minds.
They have the map control. They also have the power play right now. Archangel's up in 5. Arnez up in 10. But it could be too little too late for that tower, and look at the gold in hand on the back of all that. 3,000 gold on Sylvanus. He can pick up just about any item in the game that he chooses right now. At this next tower, if you could actually buy a kin size, he could grab that too. It's one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive in the game. Steefy 1v3, carrying a little bit. He doesn't have the big baby to go up into, but the rest of his team arrives to keep him alive. JoJo picks up that kill and keeps him alive.
Yeah, and they can continue to fight after this. In the meantime, Dark DK and Ataxi have been putting pressure on towards this right-hand side tower. Starting to take a little bit too much damage from it, so they will have to fall away after that fight. They are so big at this point in time. The gold in hand is going to be absolutely insane. 2.4k on Steefy, 2.1k on Dark DK, 38 on Panther, he just went back. You know, 3.6k on Ataxi, and JoJo's 2,400 as well. They're going to finish a whole bunch of items, and it's going to be so hard to fight them after they do finish those items.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, there's actually a bug pop up in the public server. Like, it might be patched by now, but a couple days ago, you could actually buy any item in the game on anybody. So, it's like, Sylvanus could potentially have bought that kin size. If he could, he would. He had the gold to buy it if he could afford it. If he could give the gold to somebody else, well, that would actually be absolutely horrible for supports, because they would literally be the least gold person in the game by a large margin. So that's probably for the best. I'm getting off topic right now. Fire Giant is going to be respawning in just about 50 seconds. Gold Fury getting brought down right now. Wasn't paying attention to what exactly was picked up, but there was so much gold spent on side Team Bizarre right now. Collectively, they had about 10,000 gold in hand to spend when they went back to base on the back of that siege.
Yeah, and we're going to see a Winged Blade actually be the focus to come through from Thor. He finished that one out. Winged Blade online for Death Panther as well, so he's looking for bonus health and CDR and movement speed, just mobility, ability to constantly throw stuff down in the middle of fights, and inability to be slowed up as well. That's crucial, but now Warchi, he's split pushing over on this right-hand side. He's got to get out now.
Yeah, he's turning around. He has that advantage to give himself some time, but there's going to pop out right in vision of JoJo. That's a Thor to the head, looking to save his life. JoJo will survive, barely. The 100% to 0 possibility assassinate from Warchi, not there quite yet, and that comes down to that gold disadvantage he finds himself at. If that Jotun's Wrath slash, what else we might be build that into? I don't know, the Crusher, probably not. Probably Jotun's Wrath were completed, maybe your Brawlers? Help deal with that Sylvanus. I don't know. If that were complete, that could have been a kill, but it's not, so he will have traded his life for nothing in that situation. Fire Giant gets started up again right now, and there's nobody nearby to even think about stopping this.
Yep, this is Fire Giant number 2. That left-hand Phoenix doesn't need to be destroyed yet again. It will in about a minute and a half, but where are they going to focus their attention? That's going to be the crucial factor. They've got Ataxi constantly keeping them topped up with those whiffs, along with the Fire Giant. They can take they can take like a quarter of their health, back off, whiffs, heal it straight back up. That's how big they are right now from Team Bizarre.
Yep, it's going to be close right now. Fire Giant buff is online. Team Bizarre looking to begin closing this game out. Taunt does find 2. JoJo in a bit of a bad spot, does survive the initial barrage coming down onto his head. In the backline, Dark Yodi K in the thick of things. Once again, 5-man Wrath of Terror.
Yeah, and he was looking for that Ojo Boom Ullr, but he's gonna manage to live. Steefy Beefy's in the mid-ground here. Recall Demons is trying to do what it can. Poppy's tight under attack, and they'll finally manage to kill off that middle Phoenix from the side of Team Bizarre, but now it's gonna be the left-hand one to spawn for the Puppies, and Death Panther's already over there. He's looking for the bonus attack speed from that Wing Blade. He's gonna secure it. He's got it, and now forward comes Archangel. He's almost dead. Ojo Boom finds Ataxi, but it's only gonna be one, and Death Panther will find Archangel. This means that Dalo's the next focus.
Ojo looking to box out 1v1 with Steefy. JoJo's on his way. He needs that help. The damage not going to be there. He's going to turn the corner into a Death Panther who's going to be actually using a Path of Flames out to safety. That was a small window still remains with Poppy's when it turns around. Steefy locked down once again, but he's still so tanky.
Oh!
Arnez now forced to go back to the fountain, looking to re-engage. Death Panther forward. Path of Flames. The burn gets the kill for Death Panther. 2 members down. Power play in place. Dark Yodike back from base, looking to re-engage and look to actually close this game out for sure right now.
Dalo is going to get the Defender of Olympus to drop down on top of him, but it's only a short teleport distance. They're still trying to clear those minions off their Titan and defend this Phoenix at the same time. This is their last point of contention. Dark ODK is taking a lot of damage here. He's also got the cat sitting on top of him. Ojo Boom will finally kill him off, but it's the third and final Phoenix to fall. And they've all got such long respawn timers. It's really hard to see the Puppies getting back into this one.
That was a big takedown on Dark Yodike. That was a 750 gold kill, not to mention a huge chunk of experience on the Ojo Boom. He was already level 20, so the experience not mattering. But that's 750 gold. That means crit is going to likely be coming online in a bigger way right now. That is going to not quite be the Rage online, but it will get him to that point. It's 1655, I believe, from that short blade, all the way short blade. Hidden Dagger up to that Rage. So not quite there, but a decent bit further. Did he actually get enough of those camps? We're going to find out here in just a second. A little bit short. Waiting out a little bit more gold. You might see him just kind of bank the gold. It's Fire Meat he's pushing as well. You can go pick up some of those and actually get to that point. There's a very small winner right now for the Poppies. They are 15,000 plus gold behind right now. And ooh, that is rough. Just off camera to the left of the screen, Dalo gets picked up 1v1 with Steefy Beefy. That's going to be rough. That's a power play. There's still a minute plus remaining on that Fire Giant buff for Team Bizarre.
Yeah, and with a power play in effect, and not a single Phoenix living, this is coming down to the final push. We're about to find out if they can secure this game, if they can move themselves on and take the team that last split was contesting for SPL places and remove them from the running for those entirely. This is not something we would have been expecting to see at the start of this Challenger Cup split.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, Poppies definitely, want this position back. They want to find themselves in the qualifiers, looking for the SPL spot. The fight is on. Zhong, the Recall Demon, is out, doing what he can in the backline. They're going straight for the Titan, and it explodes! Team Bizarre secure themselves a spot in the Week 8 Grand Finals for the Challenger Cup for the summer split. Congratulations to those guys. They'll be joining a slew of other teams to face off over there out of Group B. It is going to be the Myrmidons out of Group A, Septum Sevens, and Team Arcadia, previously known as Six Sigma. We'll have the updated stats to close the week out in just a moment. But congratulations to all the teams who have locked themselves in a spot going forward.
Yeah, I mean, let's have a chat about those teams now, because they are the ones that we're going to be seeing going forward. It was Yomi and High Five out of their group. It was COD Crusaders, and I believe it was Resist Gaming as well going forward from Group
Yep.
B in the North America. Over here in EU, it's going to be from Group A, Septum 7 and Six Sigma went forward. Team Arcadia won out of that segment, and now Myrmidons and Team Bizarre are your final four out of each region to move on.
Yep. I mean, it's been a long road. EU, there are so many good teams on the European side of the Challenger Cup this split. I mean, just week one, not a single one of these teams that are up on the screen right now were not... Every single one of these guys was knocked out early on in a tournament. I'm not saying, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals. Every single one of these teams was like knocked out round of 32, round of 64. This was not an easy split for any of these teams in the Challenger Cup, to say the least. A couple of teams towards the end were able to squeak through like some double final place victories in case of Six Sigma, as well as High Five in the final weeks, both were able to close out double first place victories. Everybody else, while they might have found one here, they found maybe one, made it to the finals twice in some cases. This was not an easy split for any of these guys, and for for 8 of these teams overall, they're not done yet.
Yeah, no, they've got to play games next week, and those are going to be brutal. Those are going to be absolutely brutal. We've got, I think, the grand finale in each region is a best of 5, and there is a lot of cash on the line as well, because these top 4 teams, they're now earning cash prizes, right? $500 for 4th place, steps up to $750 for 3rd place, steps up to 2nd place, $1,500 and a full split qualifier invite. And then for first place, $500 a player, $2,500 and a full split qualifier invite.
Yep, and a lot of these, for a good lot of these players, this is probably the biggest game coming up, the biggest tournament they've been playing in, and going forward, this is going to be it's a single elimination bracket, best of 5 matches across the board, so it's going to be a big point of contention. Best of 5s are a completely different beast from even a best of 3 we see in the finals from the regular week-to-week plays. It's a new format for the Challenger Cup. We just finished the group stages, which is, again, a new bit of the format for this one. Best of 5s, if you guys have never played in this type of situation, in a best of 1, it's clear, you have to do what you have to do. Typically, people will just play a normal game. There's not really much, okay, what are we going to do? Because it's a best of 1, it's win or lose. You lose, you're out. A best of 3, you have 3 games to work. If you lose game 1, all right, guys, we got this in game number 2. But, it's game 2, it's, again, your back's against the wall, you have to win it. When you're looking at best of 5, that extra little margin of games, there's some room to play around. You can try some things. Game 1, game 2. You can lose 2 in a row. It's like, oh, you know what? Game 1, let's play it normal. Maybe we'll get an early win and work out well. Game 2, we can play it normal again. Game 3, that's when you pull out the stops if you're down 0-2. You can pull out all sorts of strategies. You can counterban. Did that person run the same god 2 games in a row and do really, really well? We can ban that out game 3. And look at Smite World Championships for Season 1. Ares came out game 3, decimated. Ares came out game 4, decimated. Game 5, down to the wire, ban the Ares. Don't let that happen again. It's just a different level of play, and there's so much more strategy involved to it.
And they had the window to play around that sort of stuff because they'd won the first 2 games, right? Best of 5s are just an entirely different beast. Entirely different beast.
Without a doubt. I am absolutely thrilled to be going to this one next weekend. It's going to be 15 games, potentially, throughout the entire weekend between North America and Europe, and it's going to be absolutely insane. We've seen great play out of all these teams. I expect no difference next week. I can just sit here and say how excited and how hyped I am about this one. This is going to be a big thing going forward. Some of these players, like I said, the most important games they're looking at in their lives. This is, you can play a game at a competitive level, at a pro level, at a semi-pro level. These teams are on the doorstep of becoming professional players. This is a big tournament. $500 is not a professional level tournament. They make it through to the SPL, they will be locked in as pro players, and that's when the fun really starts for these guys. So they can say, you know what? I am a pro Smite player. I made it to that next level. And, for 2 of these teams, they will be, from each region, they'll be moving on to the qualifiers at the completion of the Week 8 Grand Finals. But, might be getting a little ahead of ourselves. We still have to actually play through Week 8 before we can actually get to that point.
Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it from us here at the Challenger Cup here this week on Week 7. Next week, join us in Week 8, where we go all the way in best of 5 series. Is if you want to find out what's happening, you'll have to be here. Streams are right here. Shodan,
Twitter will come down in a second. Next week we will not be right here in Smite Game 2. We will be moving over to Smite Game because all the SPLs wrapped up. Let's be fair. This is the real exciting stuff anyway, and there's no bias because I'm the guy casting this week to week. I know you're probably in the same spot, right, Rank? It's all about the Challenger Cup. All about the Challenger Cup. Seriously.
Challenger Cup. Yeah, we get access to. I had totally forgot until you reminded me. We get access to the main channel. So if you want to join us there next week, Summer Challenger Cup, Week 8, Live or Die, Best of 5 finals for cash prizing. It's all going to be over there. Shodan, take us through the social media.
Yep, if you guys want to follow us, we'll have information posted through the week. Hindu not joining us today, twitch.tv/hi-rez. Hindu Man, you can just follow me at twitch.tv, Twitch, why are we talking about Twitch? Twitter. Twitter.com/hi-rez Hindu Man. Twitter.com/theziden for me, and I actually don't know what yours is. Is it Ranconius? Is it just Ranconius?
Yeah, it's just Ranconius.
Just Ranconius. Not just Ranconius. Ranconius, I believe, right?
Yeah, without the just.
Gotcha. That said, we'll keep the outro reasonably short today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, congratulations to the teams moving on to the grand finals in Week 8. For my co-caster, Ranconius, Hindu Man not joining us today, our backroom admin staff, and hi-rez studios, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope to see you next week. And for now, have a great day.